to It's Not Rocket Science tonight. Rachel says ground control to Major Tim.
Да прибудет с тобой сила.
Спасибо.
Find out why Ben and Eamon Holmes are making such a big bang. And I'll be facing death by fridge.
I am actually quite scared. I don't know if I'm going to do it. That's the honest truth.
Romesh, I cannot wait to see that fridge.
Yeah, all I can tell you is a life or death situation involving my fridge.
That's seriously not your fridge.
It was my fridge. It had like all my favourite stuff in it, olives, couscous.
Wow, will your couscous survive? What an added layer of jeopardy.
Well, speaking of yummy flavourings, first up tonight, sugar. Everybody's talking about it, but did you know that sugar has the power to fire a rocket? And if you don't believe me, just watch this.
Sugar. We use it every day and we find it in almost every food we consume. Our bodies convert sugar into energy, fueling our cells, enabling us to, well, essentially stay alive. But as well as being our body's main power source, sugar also has some incredibly explosive properties. There you go, Eamon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers. No?
You may be a scientific boffin, but you're rubbish at tea making.
Eamon?
Oh, you're not joking, are you? But you know, I do like sugar. I wouldn't like to think it was that dangerous. Would you like another slice of my beautifully sugary chocolate cake?
Tempting. You know, one slice of your chocolate cake contains enough sugar to launch a rocket.
Get out of it.
Each of these has got the same amount of sugar as you find in 100 grams of all my favourite foods. I've mixed it with an oxidizer.
An oxy what?
An oxidizer, a chemical that basically helps the sugar burn faster, makes it more explosive.
Right.
This one here, that's got the same amount of sugar as that glass of cola.
The second has the sugar from this portion of flavoured porridge. The third, the sugar from this amount of sweet and sour chicken.
Finally, I've taken the sugar from one of your slices of chocolate cake and I've put it in this rocket here.
You're telling me that somehow you can extract sugar from these foods and make those fly?
Let's go and find out. To the Sugarmobile.
We've arrived at my special high-tech testing centre, and it's time to launch the first rocket, the Cola Crusher.
So we're going to attach the rocket to the line. Right. We're going to ignite it, and then how far it goes is going to tell us how much sugar's in it.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Safety. Glasses.
Safety. Goggles on. Right.
Scarper.
Go on, my son.
Is that it?
Did that move? I don't know if it moved.
What?
The Cola Crusher, 0 metres.
So with the amount of sugar in the cola, there wasn't enough energy to move the rocket. But how will the porridge punisher fare?
OK, Eamon, so what do you think? Higher or lower than the cola?
Are you joking?
Do you think it might hit my exploding target?
No.
Come on, porridge.
Oh, yes! Let's run the wheel.
What have we got there?
We have got 10.6 metres.
10.6 metres, Eamon.
Well, that just goes to prove why you should start your day with porridge instead of cola. Next!
With 10.6 metres to beat, it's time to launch the sweet and sour chicken-fueled Shanghai Slammer.
Light the fuse.
Oh.
The Wheel of Truth is saying 7.6. Porridge is still the one to beat.
That's right, but hopefully the cake of death will blast right through my target.
This boy is going to travel.
Well, let's hope so, Eamon.
Okay, 5.
We're passing 7.6 metres.
Yes, 8.
We're passing 10.6
Passing the
metres.
10 point. And the winning total is 12.9. Just make it 13. 13 metres! So, Ben, what have we learned?
I'm glad you asked. Well, we've learned that sugar is one hell of a fuel. Think of the amount of sugar that you're putting into your body when you eat some of these foods. The cola, 10 grams of sugar in that 100 gram portion. The porridge, 27.5 grams of sugar. The sweet and sour chicken, 15.8 grams of sugar. The cake of death, 54.9 grams.
Pity though, we still didn't hit the target. We're a long way. What would it take to be hitting that?
Where would we find quite a lot of sugar?
Still got some of that cake left.
Let's make one more rocket. What are we going to call her?
Do you know what? I think we should call this the Holmes Run. And why did I say that, Ben? I am so confident this is going to hit the target.
We've crammed over 329 grams of sugar into the Holmes Run, so we're expecting a rather big bang.
That's fantastic. And that, my friend, is the power of sugar.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome Eamon Holmes? Eamon, can I offer you a French fancy here? Look at this tower of
I'm partial to
delight.
Viennese whirl. That's
Ooh.
really nice, or swirl, or whatever they are.
Anyone else?
I'm good, thank you.
My body's a temple.
Take a Viennese
Why
whirl
that's
as well.
not funny?
Eamon, fond memories of that day? It was fun, wasn't it?
It was cold, it was wet.
Yeah.
But it was so exciting being out there on the land, watching that happen. And being up there in the pyrotechnic den where all the rockets were made.
Yeah.
It was just so exciting to smell the gunpowder and realise that sugar was an equivalent. That really made me view it differently.
Extraordinary.
Did you feel it was a little bit unacceptable that you were invited to see Ben and you had to take your own cake? I don't think that's cool, really.
Well, he provided the rockets, I provided the cake. I thought that was a fair deal.
And if you can use cake to power a rocket, then presumably can you use it in your car? Can you just shove it in instead of petrol? Instead of going down the station, you just put a couple of Battenbergs.
Scientifically, I think that holds up, actually.
Yeah, I think, you know, the odd slice of carrot cake surely couldn't do any harm. No, I mean, that's a really... do you know what? Scientifically, that is a really great question.
Can you put cake in a car? Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. No, obviously you can't stick cake in a car, but there's no reason in principle why you can harness the energy of sugar to power a vehicle. It's what our own bodies use. That's how we power
To me,
ourselves.
that was bringing the chemistry lab to life because you're looking at different ways that energy is stored, whether it be in porridge or a soft drink. And so, therefore, you view sugar differently and you have to worry about what you're putting inside you because there's all that energy and all that explosiveness that you're putting inside you right now and you view it in a different way, don't you? Because if you're not burning it off, what's happening to it?
Has your diet changed because of that experience? I mean...
I'm sorry, Eamon.
Wait.
This looks like an intervention now. That's not what's going on here.
Is that a suggestion?
I'm not seeking to imply anything.
No, but I think you do have to think differently about how energy is stored. We just look at nice things. So something like that says, and that's lovely, that's sweet. No, that has got a lot of kick in it.
We're big into vegan cupcakes, but they don't use normally, refined sugar. It's agave and it's things like that. So is that
now let me
healthy
dispel
sugar?
this myth, right? Okay, because the thing about
What
vegan
myth?
cupcakes, the myth of these, these healthier kinds of sugar, because your vegan cupcakes, because there's no nice taste in there.
There is. They're delicious.
There's nothing pleasant about it at all. They cram it with sugar. Let me just, in fact, let me show you what one of these vegan cupcakes can do. Just remove that sultana there.
Hold on a minute. Are you telling me that all those ping pong balls were in that cupcake? That's incredible. I have absolutely no idea.
How much more scientific proof do you need?
Each of these ping pong balls represents when a vegan's eating a cupcake, how many times they tell you that they're better than you.
So, Eamon, maybe they contain as much sugar as the vegan cupcake, but at least they're not crammed with self-righteousness.
Indeed. Sugar is sweet. That is the power of sugar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eamon Holmes.
Still to come, Romesh comes face to face with his fridge. And find out how tech is transforming the beautiful game.
This is you, Ron.
That's quite a rare Sri Lankan technique.
But for now, boys, if you could just clear this all up. Yeah. That includes you two, Holmes.
Yeah, come on, Rob. Welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science, where, ironically, very soon it will actually be rocket science as we explore space.
But first, guys, I have a question. When was the last time you bought a new phone?
Like about 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
I like to replace my phone on a month-to-month basis for legal reasons.
I won't even ask you any more questions about that, but I'm guessing right before you bought your new phone, your old one got a lot slower,
Absolutely.
the battery would die really, really quickly,
Yeah.
and then suddenly they brought out a new phone and you had to go and spend 600 quid on it.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? They get you to upgrade, the system upgrade, then use up loads of memory and the phone slows down and you have to get a new one.
Yeah, well, some cynics say that companies are doing this to get more money out of you. It's called inbuilt obsolescence. So right before they release a brand new phone, your one packs up. So this phone right here is going to solve that problem. This is called the Fairphone 2, and it's the world's very first completely modular phone. It's made by a Dutch company and only costs you around 400 quid.
Wow.
And for that, you can replace every little bit of it individually. So it's all in pieces here.
Yeah.
So if you want to
This
get a
is
new screen,
awesome.
if your one breaks, or if they update it, you just buy the screen, 66 quid. You want to get a new camera, about 26 quid. A new battery, £15.
Surely
And you're sorted.
it goes out of date eventually, though.
Well, it will, yeah. They reckon it's going to last about twice as long as the current amount of time that you'd have your phone for.
I think my one would last up until I take it apart for the first time, because there's
Yeah.
no way
I mean,
I'm ever going to get it back together again.
literally, it's designed to be idiot-proof.
I mean, I tell you
You'll be
I tell
fine.
you what I do feel good about is I've often thought I would feel a lot safer if I could actually physically remove my internet history.
Isn't this such a thing of beauty? Look at this. I
Yeah.
just think it's absolutely wonderful.
I would just not have the camera because I don't like taking photos, and also I think FaceTime is the worst thing that ever happened to mobile phone. I've never been calling someone and thought, I wish I could see what they look like right now. Do you know what I mean? Because whenever I make a phone call... whenever I'm making a phone call, I just look disgusting. I'm just like,
For you, with this kind of phone, you can actually buy gaffer tape and stick it over the camera.
Would you trust your life to science? Every week, one of us risks it all to prove a scientific principle.
And this week, they tried to kill me with my own fridge. That's a fridge? Fridge freezer? Well, it looks like the fridge freezer I got at home. Why is there a watermelon that looks... Is that supposed to be me? Friction is a powerful thing. It alone can be used to stop the movement of some seriously heavy objects. Today, you're going to witness this firsthand when a fridge freezer on a rope hurtles towards your head. Whoa! Fridge freezer hurtles towards your head. Towards your head. Oh my God. I'm genuinely concerned that that is going to drop on my head. That's my couscous. That's my fridge. I don't know what to say. You can't shield yourself with your arms or whatever. There's no comeback from that. If I realise that's gone wrong, I'm gone.
Romesh, it's all going to be fine, mate, because of this small 3-kilogram weight.
It's good banter, Kevin. The man on hand to keep me cool and explain why I'm not about to get smashed to smithereens is our resident scientist, Kevin Fong.
I love this. This little 3-kilogram weight is going to trigger enough friction to stop your head coming into contact with 50 kilograms of couscous and yoghurt.
Well, there's also a fridge encasing it. I wasn't worried about couscous and yoghurt falling on my head.
Romesh's 50-kilogram fridge will be attached by rope to the 3-kilogram weight and suspended on a pole 30 feet above him. When this weight is released, the fridge will begin to drop to the floor. But before it lands on Romesh, the weight will wrap the rope around the pole, creating friction. It's this friction which will stop the fridge and save Romesh from going the same way as the watermelons.
I'm less on board with this than the birth of my third child. Sorry, mate, I don't buy it. And that I had serious doubts about. I don't see how that is going to stop that.
Well, that's the genius. Come on, I'll show you. Hopefully, a game of tug-of-war can convince Romesh that friction will save him.
There's very little rope in contact with that pole.
OK.
Try and pull me along. Ready, steady, pull. There you go. That's pretty straightforward. Yes!
I've absolutely nailed that.
But look, let's try it again. If you put a loop around the pole. All right, try that one again. Harder.
A little bit.
Put another loop around it and see what happens.
As long as you're having a good time, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Right. Have a go. And what you're noticing now, more wraps, more friction, no results. What's happening here is with each loop, you get more force on that pole, and that friction builds up hugely the more coils of rope we put around that pole. That's what's going to protect you.
But nobody is going to be up there wrapping the rope around the post.
That's the great bit. I'm going to get this to do all the wrapping for us. It's all going to happen automatically.
I don't believe it.
The weight will do the work because of the science of angular momentum. This is the momentum of a weight travelling in a circle around a central point or fulcrum beam. To help Romesh understand this part of the experiment, I thought I'd take him back to his childhood.
Do you remember swing ball?
I do remember it. I spent many an hour just playing it on my own in the back garden. I wasn't even an only child. My brother was there, but he just watched me.
Awkward, but never mind. If you get on the first step of that ladder, so imagine this is that little tiny 3-kilogram weight traded off against that massive 50-kilogram fridge. The massive fridge is on the other side, OK? So that's where we're going to release that little weight from, OK?
Yeah.
So give it a good shove and see what happens. And this is the amazing bit. It just speeds up at the end there, OK? And that's the important thing. The shorter this rope is, the faster it turns, the more coils it gets around the beam, more friction, and you not dying.
I can't picture it in my head. You know, I've played a game of swing ball, and I've done some tug of war, and now I've got to put my head under a fridge.
I can't see how it's going to work.
It does look pretty nasty now that I'm looking at it like this. On paper, it just looks like a couple of lines that go shh, 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 shh.
All I'm thinking about is what could go wrong. The one thing that has been demonstrated to me exactly how it's going to go down at the end is the fridge falling to the ground and smashing watermelons to pieces. That's the one demonstration that I can connect with what we're about to do. I don't even know, there's even like the point at the top of the fridge. What if when it comes to a sudden stop, that just breaks?
I'm sure the riggers have got it covered.
I am actually quite scared. I don't know if I'm going to do it. That's the honest truth.
I know it's hard to be convinced by all of this stuff, but you'll be all right. Fridge is up there, ready to go. Got to get you into position, mate.
What is that?
So this is deadly serious. It's a board on wheels. This is your safety line here. If anything goes wrong, and I mean, there is a small chance that the weight does ping off and doesn't stop you, Dave the rigger is your man. He's going to pull you out of the line of fire there.
Are you joking?
No, that's not a joke. That's absolutely deadly serious. This will work, and we have a backup plan.
No, but you spent the whole time convincing me of the maths, and now there's a safety line in case it doesn't work.
To get through this, I need to put my faith in friction.
Right now, I'm going to have to get you lying down on that.
Why is it shaped like a coffin?
All right. You're going to hold that. I'll get that down. You get yourself nice and comfy.
Oh my God!
All right. I'm going to grab the switch. Now listen, I'm not going to be in control of this one. If you believe in it, you trigger it. All right, mate?
OK. I am trusting in the science big time here, mate.
get out from underneath there.
That was one of the weirdest feelings I've ever had. I can't explain. I don't think I've ever had a feeling like that.
How was that?
Oh, mate, that was crazy. I did not believe it before going into it. That's the honest truth. I'm sort of blown away by the fact that it worked, and I feel just massive relief. Oh! It worked exactly as Kevin said, and it's given me more faith going forward in science.
Oh, man.
Well done, man.
Thanks, man.
Wait, because I would actually argue that wasn't brave, it was just stupid. I don't think you had any idea what you were letting yourself in for.
What are we talking about? I explained it. Fulcrum, innit?
Yeah. Fulcrum, innit?
Yeah.
But, I mean, seriously, even with you sitting there while I watched that, it made me sick with nerves. How long was that fridge falling at your face for?
But it felt like a long time. It's just a white square that's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's it. Just a very, very heavy white square.
Terrifying white square.
Yeah, it was the most frightening thing. And the thing for me was, it felt, when Kevin explained the science to me of that weight, that's not... It just felt totally counterintuitive. Like, when you think about that happening, in my head, I don't imagine that being the thing that happens. So he's telling me that this is going to happen, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But yet... Well, I don't know why I did it if I didn't believe it.
Presumably your wife actually sent your fridge there. So not only was she in on it, I mean, she endorsed this actively by sending them your fridge to drop on you.
Yeah, I'm assuming she thought, I'll send this and I'm either going to get a new fridge or a new husband.
Right, on that note, coming up, I chat to astronaut Tim Peake, and Romesh uses tech to help his beloved Arsenal. See you soon.
Welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science. Very soon we'll be joined by the greatest goalie in the world and heading off into outer space with British astronaut Tim Peake.
But first, we've all heard of electric cars, but how about electric roads? Well, researchers at the University of Nebraska have developed a special type of concrete that conducts electricity. With the new technology, when you run a current through it, frozen road surfaces actually heat up and thaw out. So this could be the end for gritters and potholes. And the days of popping a couple of painkillers may be numbered too, because this is the first ever ibuprofen pain relief patch. It's developed by scientists at Warwick University, so you just stick it directly to the affected area and it automatically delivers targeted pain relief at a constant dosage throughout the day. It's not in shops yet, but it could be on sale by 2018, so put that on your Christmas list. And thirdly, I want to show you this. Romesh, I shouldn't need to ask this, but have you got any experience as a male model?
Yes, I have. I was Mr. December in the Crawley Observer 3 years running.
Of course I knew that. If you could just pop this on and give us your best blue steel there. So this is a brand new type of biker jacket. So if you fall off, this is attached to the bike. It activates a CO2 canister. It expands and it provides the same amount of protection for your back as a helmet would for your head. It's been tested in speeds up to 150 miles an hour and you can buy it for 499 quid. And Ben, I will pass this over to you.
OK.
If you want to take Romesh for a walk, you're welcome. If you want to just pull the canister.
OK, here we go. You ready?
See it in action.
OK. Oh! Pretty good.
If you could
Wow. That's really quite...
strike a couple of poses.
That's really quite impressive, Rom. That's really loads of protection that's providing there.
Oh, get away. That's massive. That's so uncomfortable. If I was in an accident, I was thinking, dude, this just added insult to injury, this.
That could save your life, Romesh.
Couple of body shots.
Go on, give it. Just smack me in the back as hard. Oh, nothing, mate, nothing. Harder. Nothing.
It's actually hurting my hand quite a lot.
Well, currently, British astronaut Tim Peake is about halfway through his adventures on the International Space Station. But before he blasted off, I managed to grab a quick chat with him.
Hi.
Very nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
I was keen to discover what an astronaut's role would be once on board.
We have lots of roles as astronauts. You know, we have to be able to do a spacewalk, use the robotic arm to maintain the space station in good conditions.
And what are the exciting things you're going to be researching?
I like doing practical tasks, and we're going to do some great flame combustion experiments. There's an electromagnetic levitator in the European module, and lots of medical research
as well as obviously the experiments. You're going to have to keep yourself physically fit with a strict exercise regime whilst you're up in space.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
It's important because the body is trying to change for space, and we have to try and stop that from happening. So we have to try and maintain our muscle mass, we try and have to stop our bone density from reducing, your heart muscle shrinks as well, and your body starts adapting itself for being a perfect organism in space. Otherwise, when you came back to Earth, it would be very, very tough on the body.
And what kind of things have you done to prepare yourself?
Some of the hardest training is when we train for spacewalk, and we put on the proper spacesuit, and then we go underwater in this enormous pool, and we work for 6 hours at a time repairing parts of the space station. Very, very physically demanding. If you can imagine in a pressurized suit, just any motion you do, any bending of your fingers or your arms, you're having to work against the pressure of the suit.
And you've been learning a bit of Russian. I've learned a special part just for you. So, da прибудет с тобой сила.
С тобой сила. Спасибо.
And after 6 years of training and exactly 1 month after he'd arrived, Tim took his first steps outside the ISS and into space itself.
How cool was that?
So cool.
I got to meet an astronaut.
Unbelievable.
And before everything's been kicked off in the news about Tim Peake, I didn't know too much about the ISS, so I found out so much on that day. So it's basically just a massive laboratory. They're performing all kinds of scientific experiments, including he's doing 23 on himself, seeing the effects of space on the human body. So when you first get up there, all your organs, they shift out of place because there's no gravity. Your blood flows differently around the body. Your heart doesn't have to pump as hard because it doesn't have that gravity. And there's just so many things that you don't think about. They have space sickness for the first few days because your body's so disorientated, and then it just sorts itself out.
Do your organs go back? Like when you come, you don't come back and you've got your kidney in your throat or something?
No, they do come back, and there are things like... So he talks about bone density. When you're up there, you're not walking like you are on Earth.
Yeah.
So your bones don't have the same pressure, so they actually get weaker. But when astronauts get back onto Earth, the bones actually repair themselves and get better.
So what kind of things did the astronauts do then to get themselves ready to go to space?
Well, to combat a lot of the effects that they have up there, they have a really strict exercise regime. They actually do 2 hours of exercise every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. Does that fill you with horror?
Almost as much as me, Ron.
Well, that's almost as much as I did in 2015.
But obviously it's trickier performing those kind of things. Even running in space is harder than it would be down here. I've actually got something here to demonstrate what running in space would be like. So if you just follow me.
Come on.
Romesh, come on, let's get you moving.
I'm not Lassie.
This is an anti-gravity treadmill. So we're going to get you in there in a minute, and it will actually recreate the gravity that they have on the International Space Station. Ben, did I hear you wanted to be an astronaut since you were a little boy?
Yeah. Don't put it in the past. Don't make it sound like I
You
might
still-
not still be an astronaut one day.
So you still want to be an astronaut?
Yeah.
Well, that's great, because I actually have a proper astronaut suit right here for you. What do you think of that? Extra small, I thought it might fit.
When astronauts get kinky.
So when you're in space, your body spreads out because of the lack of gravity, so your vertebrae will move apart. They wear this compression suit to help acclimatise themselves before they come back to Earth.
Oh, wow. So this is something you wear so that you can return and your body's still functioning in gravity.
This is a proper compression suit for the European Space Agency. Off you go. Pop it on.
I'll head off and get changed into this. I'll see you in a sec.
Congratulations on your dreams coming true, mate.
Well, Romesh, you're not the only one with a sexy little outfit to wear. You have to pop this on to be able to get into the anti-gravity treadmill. The important thing to remember is the zip goes at the front. So, pop your tight little thighs in that. So basically, you will be zipped into the anti-gravity treadmill, and it creates a plug. You are a human plug.
It's really it's actually quite uncomfortable.
Do you want to jump into the treadmill?
I'm getting
Jump
in it.
in and zip yourself up, my friend. Would you zip up? I feel like your mum now.
Yeah, my mum always used to say to me, Romesh, get into the anti-gravity treadmill.
So it's going to fill up with air. Wait for it. You're not adding anything extra yourself, are you, Romesh?
Oh, that feels nice.
OK, so you're fully calibrated, so in a minute we can get you started, but I think I hear that Mr. Miller is ready to model the ISS drink election. Wow.
Yeah.
I have very quickly learned to keep my gaze up here.
I'm essentially naked. That's how I feel.
That's exactly why I'm keeping my gaze up here. Oh, Romesh is already going. It's an eager beaver over there.
Has Romesh dialed down the dignity on the machine?
Romesh has dialed down the gravity. He's on the moon, basically.
And why is it doing this to my arms, do you think?
Never seen that before. All right, I think you can both do a little bit of exercise.
Bit
you
of
look
exercise,
like a man who knows
OK.
how to star jump.
Is this right? Is that what you do?
Kind of. How's it feeling? How's the compression suit?
It does feel like... It basically does feel like you've joined my nudist camp, basically. That's it.
Romesh, how you feeling?
I feel great. Romesh, come on. I feel great. Let's just up this a bit.
Push
Wait,
it.
no! Ben.
Speedy up. Nice.
Ben.
I think you can do it. Again, you go.
Hold on. Can we
Now you want to increase
Can we
the
take the
gravity.
weight up as well?
Oh,
there we go.
yeah.
Ben!
So, Ben, do you feel more like an astronaut?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do feel very close to my dreams of being an astronaut, but then again, I feel close to quite everything in this suit.
And, Romesh, you've always wanted to do some exercise. How do you feel?
I don't think that was funny, mate. That's the honest truth.
I think we did. Well, coming up, the world's only unbeatable goalie, and find out how Romesh gets on when he meets one of his Arsenal heroes.
Welcome back. Now, I'm a massive football fan. Since I was born, I've supported Arsenal.
No accounting for taste.
Shut
people.
These days, though, football, like everything else, is using technology to up its game. Here's how. We've all dreamt of scoring the winning penalty for our favourite teams. But it's not quite as easy as the professionals make it look.
Oh, balls.
However, using technology, the horror of a penalty miss could soon be a thing of the past. And I want to help one of my favourite players from my favourite team become a penalty perfectionist. So I've invited Arsenal England's Callum Chambers to join me.
Hello, Callum. So basically, Callum, what's happening is we're going to use state-of-the-art technology to turn you, and in turn my beloved Arsenal, into undefeatables when it comes to taking penalties.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Wicked. In order for you to do that, I'm going to need you to get into one of these.
You want me in that?
Yes.
Well, if I've got to get in that, then so do you.
Deal.
Suited and booted, we head over to meet Dr. Neil Smith, a biochemical scientist from the University of Chichester. Neil's worked with cricketers, Olympic divers, and even Cristiano Ronaldo. So with his wealth of experience in top-level sport, he's qualified to answer a really important question.
Why are we dressed like morons?
I wouldn't say morons, Romesh. You're dressed in motion capture suits. So what are all these dots for? And those dots are markers. The idea being that some of these 40 cameras that we've got scattered around the studio here today can capture the movements of those markers, which we can reconstruct in 3D space. It's exactly the same thing that we use for CGI on movies, but also to generate images that you see in computer games as well. Today we're not going to be playing around though. We're going to be using this for scientific purposes. What we're going to try and do is capture your movement when you're taking penalties. What we then do is create a small avatar of yourselves to try and analyse your technique and hopefully improve your overall performance.
So Neil can use the motion cameras to evaluate our spot kicks. We take 20 penalties each.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Ooh! This is you, Ron.
Can I kick it?
Okay.
The right arm. I don't know if it's supposed to go behind you.
That's quite a rare Sri Lankan technique.
Just as you contact the ball, we're actually contacting with the toes of the shoe, which is not the flattest surface of the foot. Therefore, the rounded end of your toe leaves us with a little bit of a lottery as to where that ball is going to go.
I've toe punted it, basically.
You've toe punted it, basically. Oh. OK, Callum, your natural side to be able to kick a ball for great percentage of success is going to be over here to the bottom left. You can see that's exactly what you did.
It's the target.
With right footers, you'll tend to find that you'll probably score about 60% of your penalty kicks there.
To be honest, I feel more comfortable going down the right side when I take a penalty. It's interesting to hear that, you know, there's a more percentage of me scoring on the left side.
Statistically. But what I want to look at is just your support foot placement there. We do get a little bit of a change of that support foot. What I want you to do, if you're going to try and change your body shape, to make sure you're still keeping that foot pointed towards the bottom right-hand side of the post.
With top tips from Neil on how we're kicking the ball, it's time to meet Dr. Zoe Wimshurst, a vision coach who's worked with the likes of Team GB Shooting, Harlequins Rugby, and she's worked with Ronaldo too. He gets around.
Today I have brought with me the Topo Glasses 2, which is an eye tracking system. You can see on the front here there's a front-facing camera, so that will capture everything that you're going to be looking at directly, and on the back here there are 4 cameras to look at each of your eyes. These glasses will actually scientifically tell us the point that you're looking at, for how long you're looking at it, whether you're holding a fixation for a long time or if your eyes are darting around all over the place.
Okay.
So let's pop these on. We can get a live view on the tablet, so I'll be able to watch and see exactly what your eyes are looking at as we go through, and we can play it back to you and hopefully make some improvements.
OK, do your best.
Ready?
So the main points to take away with you is, firstly, don't be scared to look at where you're going to be aiming for. It's going to make your shot much more accurate. Secondly, don't get drawn into mind games with the goalkeeper. This is essentially an aiming activity.
So you ignore the goalkeeper completely?
We've found through research that actually strategies taking penalties that are completely independent of what the goalkeeper's doing tend to be the more successful ones.
Armed with advice from 2 pieces of technology, we put our newfound skills to the test.
Ron was on a mission today to really improve me and try and help me become a better penalty taker. I think he might have succeeded.
Alan, the first set of 20, you scored 14. You've gone up to 20 out of 20. Well done.
The tech. I think I can take a lot from it.
Ramesh, you started with a 0. You went up to 8 out of 20 after a little bit of technology intervention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you. I told you it worked.
Yeah.
Do you think you could have a word of our send, or just sort of say what I've done and that, and maybe I could come hang out at the ground?
Yeah, maybe, mate. I'll let you know.
Embarrass yourself a little bit there, didn't you, Romesh?
Yes, I did. But actually, the truth is, they didn't show the most embarrassing part of that day. Because...
Not the outfit.
Well, all right. But what they had was, like, in order to use the motion capture, they had cameras, they had a rig above it, and they said, if you hit any of these cameras, we lose an hour's filming. They've got to be recalibrated, so whatever you do, don't hit the cameras. This is the first thing I did after that.
But in order to help me to do this properly, I need a decent player from a decent team. And that's why I've asked the hot shot from the mighty, mighty Arsenal to come and give me a hand.
Can we just talk about that Topo? I'm not the world's greatest expert in football, but even I know that you're not supposed to kick a ball like that.
Yeah, it started off as a dream that day because, you know, obviously I'm a massive gooner and meeting Callum Chambers and hanging out with him was great. You know, it's a dream come true. Unfortunately, partway through the day, he turned to me and he said, "You are without a doubt the worst striker of a ball I've ever seen in my entire life." And I include when I played at schoolboy level. Like, he thought I was doing it to be funny. He was going, "Are you doing that because you're a comedian? Like, you're kicking it?" I said, "No, mate, I'm actually trying to score a penalty."
At least you made the impression.
Yeah.
It was kind of amazing, though, how much you can tell from using a little bit of science and a few cameras. Did it actually improve your game?
Yeah.
There was nowhere to go but up, was there, though? You got 0. You scored 0 out of 20.
Well, they said I provided, out of everyone that's used that equipment, the best baseline figure to start off with of anyone that's used it. But the truth is, you know, the improvements they gave me were very much like basic, you know, football instruction.
Hit the goal.
Yeah, yeah. Aim. You know, I thought I'd be at advantage. I've got a lazy eye. You don't know where I'm shooting at any time. But with Callum, actually, you know, they did give him some really good tips. And the other thing was, you know, when people are taking a penalty and they look in a different place to where they're hitting.
That's right. Try and fool the goalie.
Yeah. Well, apparently, Goalkeepers very rarely look at the top half of the body. They're always looking at the bottom half. So actually, it doesn't matter where you look, actually.
And you took a lot of this on board, and by the end of the day, you were nailing it.
Yeah, I think I'm much better at taking penalties.
Yeah.
And I think I could give most goalkeepers a run for their money.
Right.
And that's fortunate, because today, I brought the best goalkeeper in the world with me. I've brought Robokeeper. Come check it out, guys.
OK.
I recognise him.
Got the basic body proportions, right? That's what I don't... So what is this then, Rom?
So basically, this is a robot keeper. It's got cameras, and those cameras analyse the curvature of the ball. They've got cameras there that are filming at 90 frames per second. Yeah. They can basically see from the curvature of the ball exactly where it's going to end up, and this keeper can save it wherever you strike it. This keeper will know where the ball's going to be before you do.
Wow. Are there is there anywhere you can score?
Well, there is. If you go top corner, you've got a slight chance of beating the keeper. I think we should put this in a test with a little penalty shooter.
Okay. I'd love to.
Yeah? OK, so let's do it. Now, if we're going to do this properly, we need a football commentator. So please, could you welcome football's Guy Mowbray? Guy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming down.
No problem. Looking forward to seeing this.
A couple of questions. What do you think of Arsenal's chances this season?
Good. Better than last year.
Thank you. What do you think of my penalty taking?
Bad. Probably the same as last year.
It's a bit harsh. Have you ever seen a goalkeeper like this before?
I've seen them more mobile. I've never seen them wear that sort of expression on their face.
Yeah. So, should we do this?
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
Well, first up, it's Rachel Riley, who, in practising, was, without doubt, the player with the best techers of the bunch. Away you go. Keeper's ready.
Good luck, mate.
Crowd's ready. Really good effort tucked into the corner.
Good effort.
But a really good save by the agile keeper.
Good effort.
Let's take another look. The technique is absolutely spot on, but so was
It's
the
all
goalkeeper's.
about the technique, I hear.
Lovely lines there.
Yeah.
Well, now it's ageing physicist and die-hard football fanatic, as we've all worked out, Ben Miller, who knows the theory, and he has got a theory about how to beat this keeper. So let's see if he can be more Gerd Muller than Ben Miller.
OK, I'm trying to get Romesh right in the goalies. That's what I'm trying to do.
You mean the keeper?
Are you ready?
Miller steps up.
Mind games.
Real focus here. Easy save for Romesh in goal. Ben, let's have a look at the replay. It was just too straight, I'm afraid.
Right in the breasts.
Went for a bit of a chip. It wasn't quite Panenka. It wasn't quite Pirlo. It was quite pathetic. Finally, it is Romesh's turn. Now, he's one of the world's few vegan centre-backs. Has he got enough protein reserves left to even reach the goal, let alone score a goal? As we know, he favours the Topo. As we also know, he's got a problem with his standing foot and, more fundamentally, his kicking foot. Here we go, then. It's Romesh versus Robokeeper. It's in the one place the Robokeeper couldn't reach it. Well, I've seen some incredible things done with the football. Nothing more unbelievable than that.
Obviously, I know what you're going to say because I was incredible. But could you give us a round-up of who you thought?
Well, that was remarkable. That was the only place that you could beat that keeper.
Thank you.
Why am I talking into this?
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give it up for the legend that is Guy Mowbray?
Well, that's full time. For anyone who's not into football, that basically means the ordeal is finally over and you can watch a lovely costume drama. Well, what have we learnt tonight? Romesh needs to upgrade to a double-door fridge. Romesh will definitely never be weightless. And after that goal, Romesh may yet play professional football for Arsenal. Pains me to say that.
Next week, I check out the bizarre property of the placebo effect. How did you feel?
Yeah, good. I felt more energetic.
I'm off to the furthest reaches of the Earth to see if it's possible for life to exist on other planets.
It's life, but it's not as we know it.
And I'll face death with only a humble vacuum cleaner to save me from being eaten alive. What the hell is that?
Until then, play safely on the planet, people. Come on!